Good morning, everybody. So glad you're with us on this Tuesday, 2/22/22.
Yes, it is.
Can't say that every day.
That's awesome. It's a special day. I mean, really, once in a lifetime to have 2/22/22 happen, and it's fun to say.
Absolutely. I have a friend who's celebrating their anniversary today, and what better way on 2/22/22 celebrate your anniversary?
I'm curious who's getting married today, who's going to have babies today. These are all dates that you'll never forget. Right?
Yeah, let's check in with Evan here, because it's also not every day we can just say rain, snow, wind, and that's what's happening in Julian right now.
Yeah, all of that's coming. So here's a live look from Julian. In fact, this is Main Street. As we wait for that daylight to get here, you can still see it's slick. And then there's that flag right there on the corner of your screen on the right side. That was flapping before it started buffering. But basically, the storms we want to show you already having an impact in East County. So the Mountain Empire Unified School District has already canceled classes due to strong winds. So heads up if you're headed into the mountains. And we do have team coverage for you this morning. Dana Marie McNichol live in Mission Beach with more on how San Diegans are preparing for this weather.
We begin, though, with Evan, who is tracking this storm here. How's it going?
Well, right now we are still seeing the very light showers, the beginning stages of the system arrive. So in terms of accumulation between now and about noon, we're expecting a few 1/100ths of an inch, very light shower activity. But we could see the majority of that activity pick up by the afternoon and evening. That's where the bulk of this storm is going to come through. That cold front really arrives with plenty of bands of showers and maybe even some thunderstorms embedded in it. Temperatures are going to be much cooler for this afternoon, upper 50s along the coast, mid and lower 50s inland. You see the rain symbol across the board and plenty of wind expected across the board as well. When we look at what we have outside right now, you can see how this comes mainly in the form of a light drizzle for most spots on the map. It'll intensify closer to about 2 and 3 p.m. and then really amp up late tonight into early tomorrow. It looks like overnight is the best time frame to pick up on, again, 1/2 an inch possible closer to your coastline and inland valleys. We could see 1.5 feet of snow across Palomar Mountain and Mount Laguna. So you see heavy accumulations in the forecast and, of course, wind. We want to go to CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol. She is live in Mission Beach with a closer look at the conditions there and the preparations underway in other parts of the county. Good morning, Dana Marie.
Good morning, Emmett. After a week of summer-like conditions, winter is absolutely making a comeback with chilly conditions and wind. I mean, those sustained winds are strong. The wind gusts are strong as well. There is an advisory now in place, updated starting at 8 a.m. till midnight tonight. So let me tell you, if you're out here on the coast and even in the valleys, you are going to feel that wind. People are just making their way out for their morning walk. Grab that windbreaker because you'll definitely need it. Now, according to the National Weather Service, wind gusts are anywhere expected from 10 to 20 miles per hour. Those winds, west winds and gusts up to 35 miles per hour expected, mostly in the coastal areas. Now, just take note that you could see some blowing objects around, so make sure like tree limbs could be blown down. A few power outages may even be a result of that. So in terms of what people are doing to prepare, so we went out to East County, people are preparing ahead of this freeze. They know that snow could be heading up to the mountains. So manager Ken Matthews at Ace Hardware in Alpine told us it's been absolutely busy. People have been making sure they get wood, pallets, firewood, kerosene, propane, which is in high demand right now. Also things to stay warm.
They're going to come in for mittens. They're going to come in for hats, beanies, hand warmers, mega warmers. They put ones in their bodies, you know, and they cut inside their pockets and stuff. I have even foot warmers.
I think I need some hand warmers right now. It is chilly out in Mission Beach. Those winter-like temperatures here in San Diego. The wind is howling. Of course, we're going to be here all morning long sharing those conditions. The sun is just rising. You can see those waves right behind me starting to pick up. But for right now, no wind here on the coast, no rain here on the coast just yet. We do see those dark clouds looming over the water. So as Evan is giving you your forecast all morning long, there is some rain to be expected a little bit later. So stick with us, so we'll share with you what you need to know in terms of that wind. Live in Mission Beach. I'll send it back to you.
Already choppy in the waters. All right, Dana Marie, thank you so much, and good idea keeping that ponytail today. You can stay up to date on this story by downloading our free CBS 8 app. You can receive the latest weather alerts right there, and then we want to see the weather where you live. As long as it's safe for you to do so, take some photos and videos and upload them through the CBS 8 app. Just click on the Near Me feature. It's at the bottom right of the app, and you can share them with us.
The search is on for the man responsible for what the CHP is calling a road rage shooting. It happened around 3:30 p.m. yesterday on the southbound 805 in Southcrest. Authorities say a man in his 30s was shot in the leg while he was behind the wheel. It's unclear what led up to that shooting. The suspect was in the passenger seat of a gray sedan. Authorities only know the suspect is a man, and they say the driver was a woman. The CHP is asking any witnesses to come forward.
And now this morning, the world is watching Ukraine for signs of a Russian invasion after President Vladimir Putin directed forces into the country.
Tensions high right now. Today, the U.S. is expected to announce new sanctions against Moscow. This morning, the U.K. unveiled sanctions on 5 Russian banks and 3 wealthy individuals. And Germany is halting a gas pipeline from Russia. Laura Podesta has the latest.
The standoff between NATO and Russia over Ukraine has moved closer to becoming a full-scale war. On Monday, Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a decree recognizing 2 eastern Ukrainian regions as independent states. Putin later ordered troops into Donetsk and Luhansk, saying they were needed to maintain order.
He calls them peacekeepers. This is nonsense. We know what they really are.
The UN Security Council convened for an emergency meeting in New York last night.
This move by President Putin is clearly the basis for Russia's attempt to create a pretext for a further invasion of Ukraine.
President Biden signed an executive order blocking trade and investment with the breakaway republics. A senior White House official told CBS News that new sanctions against Russia will be unveiled today. In a televised speech, Putin blamed the crisis on NATO, saying it had encroached on land that has long been part of Russia. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Now, the extent of U.S. sanctions on Russia, not yet clear. There are concerns counter-sanctions by Russia could impact the oil and wheat sectors, possibly affecting gas and food prices in the U.S. But a San Diego State political science professor is urging everyone to be calm.
Don't panic. A lot of it is speculative. We don't know exactly what kind of sanctions may be imposed. And we don't know, more importantly, what kind of counter-sanctions Russia may impose.
Now, that SDSU professor also says this may provide an opportunity for exporters in other parts of the world, as well as domestic producers, to fill any voids created by any sanctions.
Checking back in with Evan here. The wind's starting to pick up out there. The showers are heading our way, and snow up in the mountains. You got a little bit of everything you're touching on here today.
Pretty incredible stuff. I mean, we are looking at the possibility of 1.5 feet of snow across our area mountains, but here's the view right now across the beaches, the coastline, where things are very nice and calm for the most part as we kick off your Tuesday morning. All that activity really expected to pick up and hit its peak into tonight and early Wednesday morning. That's kind of the time frame to watch out for perfectly. Late Tuesday, early Wednesday. That's as this low sinks in. Temperatures right now are pretty mild for the greater coastline, though there are some spots that are struggling just a bit. So I want to point out, for example, Ramona at 45 degrees. No big surprise. Your mountains are sub-freezing off toward Palomar and Mount Laguna. 48 up in Fallbrook. 50s for the most part across the greater coastline. Now, over the next 3 days, I want to point out a couple things. Number one, as this storm enters and really hits its peak, we're going to see those temperatures continue to decline. So today is a cold day, 10, 15 degrees below average. Tomorrow, even colder. You see 54 degrees is that forecast high even along the coastline for your Wednesday. An 80% chance, that just jumped from 70 to 80% now. As far as your chance of precipitation for today, holds at 50 for tomorrow. And then we drop down to nothing for your Thursday. That's because all of this wet weather is going to clear out by Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, and a ridge of high pressure is going to build very quickly behind it and bring us some warmer weather, at least to start off Thursday. We'll get even more warm going into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, for example. Let's take a look at your wind gusts right now. Very breezy onshore flow there, as you can see. Gustiest over your mountaintops. You've got Julian with 26-mile-per-hour gusts, 18 at Sill Hill, 22 at Mount Laguna. So it is a breezy start to the morning and only going to remain that way going into the rest of the day. So we've got a wind advisory across your greater coastline, a high wind warning for your deserts, and that winter storm warning as well. That is an anomaly to see those snow levels drop all the way down to just 2,000 feet. Most of the storms that we've seen recently have been around 3,000 to 4,000 feet. So that is almost cut in half going into today as well as tomorrow, where we could see some pretty impactful conditions over the mountain passes. Let's talk about traffic so far this morning. Things have been very, very light on the roads. We haven't seen any major crashes or collisions associated with any of the light showers that we've been seeing. So we, of course, will keep you up to date here as well as on our website, cbs8.com/traffic. Back to you.